Ideas. We are gathered this morning, as Otunfo has stated, to talk about artisanal small-scale mining, a trade that has been as old as we have been around, but a trade that in the 21st century has really been a real challenge. And this morning in my presentation, you will see that I will be washing Ghana's dirty laundry publicly. But I'm doing so for good reasons. I'm doing so because we are all convinced that we have to chart a new way forward to ensure that artisanal small-scale mining will be done responsibly and sustainably. As I've said, globally, this is a trade that has been around for a long time. 45 million people around the globe are engaged in this trade. It started off with hammers and chisel, rudimentary methods of mining, and has really metamorphosed into a very sophisticated method. Now, if you hear artisanal small-scale mining, what you see is the use of excavators and other sophisticated equipment. And what has really come in its wake is the destruction of our forests, destruction of our water bodies, pollution of our waters, and really with all that it comes with health implications that we have to grapple with. The story in Ghana is not different. In Ghana, over 1 million people are engaged in this trade. Year to date, and if you want to know how important this trade is, just up to this quarter, we've shipped over $4 billion of gold out of the shores of Ghana. 52% of that gold comes from artisanal small-scale mining. That should tell you how important it is. But ladies and gentlemen, it comes with illegalities. It comes with challenges that in Ghana we call the challenges of Galamsey. And as I stated, when you become a minister for lands and natural resources, as I did 4 months ago, and my first briefing was from the Forestry Commission. And they came to tell me something that shook me, that out of the 288 forest reserves that we have in Ghana, 44 had been completely destroyed. I mean, destroyed. And then I asked, how has it been destroyed? Because 5,500 hectares of that forest that has been around for over 200 years has just been condemned. And just imagine 5,500 hectares. That is 7,500 football fields. That is completely gone, that has degraded, that has to be reclaimed. What is worse is that because our major river bodies take their sources from these forests, almost 80% of our major waters take their source from these rivers. We also have pollution of our main water bodies. And to the extent that the turbidity levels of these water bodies, which has to be 0 to 500, are now between 5,000 and 12,000 NTU, making it impossible for the Ghana Water Company to even treat our water. So when you hear the shutdown of the Takwa plant, that is the result of that. It gets even worse. 9 out of these forest reserves has completely been taken over by armed gangs. That's a no-go area that the forest guards cannot even enter. And those were the challenges that we faced head-on. It was even worse when we were briefed that geological investigation that should be able to help identify mineralized areas was not happening because the Ghana Geological Authority had not capacity to do so. It has even extended the challenge and the sophistication of this challenge we dealt with. From 2022 to 2024, out of 845 arrests we made, we couldn't even prosecute them. Only 31 or 35 were able to prosecute. That's a paltry 4%. And that is really the challenge we had to deal with. And then we ask, how did we get here? And I think we are asking this question not because we are interested in figure pointing, but we are asking this question so we can get to the root causes of this challenge and address this fundamental challenge that is basically coming to destroy us. I have not even talked about the health implications of all the things I've talked about. Well, what is at stake is political will and the determination for all of us to deal with this challenge. And that is how we began. We began 4 months ago with a 5-pillar approach in dealing with this challenge. First, we realized clearly that the licensing regime, the process of issuing licenses, had to be completely reformed. We revoked licenses and set up to basically review every license to identify the processes. Because it was clear that first, the bureaucracy would not even encourage people to apply for licenses. And for those who were getting the licenses, they were getting the licenses because they were politically connected. So we're not following due diligence and doing it. Oftentimes, people would take licenses from Accra and go to a mining community and waive it. And this is the first time the community is seeing this investor. All of that had to change. We decided to also make sure that if you have 7,500 football fields to recover, and you're going to spend millions and millions of dollars to really recover, you need law enforcement to come. We strengthened law enforcement. Decided to work hard, and in the last 5 months, we've done over 500 arrests, and over 200 plus and other equipment have been seized. We continue aggressively to deal with that. But we are under no illusion. I talked about I'm very happy to also say that we've recovered. Out of the 9 no-go areas, we've recovered thanks to the collaboration of the Ghana police and the Ghana army. Out of the 9, we recovered 9 of this forest reserve. And now the forestry guards are able to take over that and take care of that. We also know that one of the critical things that we have to do is to provide alternatives. The reason that why we have so many of our young people in this trade is because of lack of jobs and lack of skills. That's why His Excellency, the President, has made creation of jobs. If you see the President having established the whole Ministry of Employment and Empowerment, it is because we need to deal with this issue of empowerment of our young people. At the ministry itself, we are working on the National Alternative Livelihood Program to create skills and create jobs. The President just launched last month the 1 million coders program. This year alone, the target is to train 150,000 young people in technology skills. We are working closely with employment agencies to create different models of jobs to get our young people empowered. We are under no illusion that we can solve this problem with force. And that is why engagement with key stakeholders and education is really very critical. We've been very aggressive in engaging key stakeholders across the country. And ladies and gentlemen, on this occasion, join me to thank Otufu Osei for his leadership. I mean, his commitment is very, very clear. The fact that he's leading this effort for this mining in motion speaks volumes about his commitment to this fight. There are other strategies that we are also adopting to try to address this challenge. And I think that at the top level, as you know, we have launched what we call the Blue Water Initiative. This is a two-pronged approach where we are dechemicalizing our polluted water bodies to ensure that it turns back blue again. We are also working on what we call the blue water gas. This year, our target is to train 2,000 young people. We've already deployed over 450 of them. And we picked them from the river areas, river areas. They're working close with the Ghana Navy and the Ghana Police. And IGP, thank you very much for the coordination. And these young people are going to be an interface, working as key intelligence officers and basically the first responded in these riverine areas. And we've already seen the impact. We are also working on a major initiative called the Tree for Life initiative. Thanks to the president, he launched this in March this year. And I'm very happy that this week is the week of seedling planting. We intend to plant 30 million seedlings. So when we leave here, come for your seedlings and let's do the planting. Very, very, very important. I am very, very excited that we've invited the large-scale mining companies and we've already started seeing positive signs. And I can mention Newmont's leadership in this. So thank you. Thank you. Another very important step we've taken is that we believe that the coordination with the security agencies must be very permanent. So we've established anti-mining secretariat, working closely with the national security and agencies to make sure we sustain the protection of all these reclaimed, degraded areas. We are also doing what we call geo-tagging and geo fencing of excavators. And why is this important? This is important because just in 2024, the third largest item that we imported into Ghana was excavators, 6 billion Ghana cedi. Now ask me, mostly all of them was finding their way into legal mining activities. So what we are doing now is that we are collaborating with the Ministry of Transport and the Driving and the Licensing Authorities to track and geofence every excavator that enters the country. Already we've done a pilot of 70 excavators that we are able to track 24 hours a day. The intention is to basically expand this program and make sure that every excavator that enters this country is tracked. We are working closely with the World Bank and others to build the capacity of the Ghana Geological Survey Authority. Investment in geological investigation is very critical. This is the reason why everybody is digging everywhere, because they don't know where the gold is. If we can basically identify mineralized areas, and I am very, very interested in the biggest program we are about to launch. If we identify all these mineralized areas, and what we are doing next is the establishment of small-scale mining cooperatives. This is an initiative that is basically being done, taking lessons from the past and learning all the things we've done in the past that has failed us. And the lesson is very, very clear. You must have the community ownership when you're establishing such community programs. It cannot be that you put the community name on a program and the community will not own it. And that is our focus. We are also working with large-scale mining companies. I remember telling them recently that every university has a primary school. Your job is now to have a small-scale mining company in your operating area. Extend the same good practices to these small-scale mining cooperatives. And I'm sure that the response that are coming, we are going to work with them to get small-scale mining cooperatives in every large-scale area to make sure we can transfer the best practices and create all the jobs we need. Working with the Go Board as well, we create a backdoor opportunity for all of these programs. And so the issues that has been talked about as traceability and all the challenges of the gold that will come up here will be addressed in this process. More importantly, I think that this has been talked about. Just in the last few months, we established the Go Board, and the impact is already being felt. And I think that the process, the past challenges we've had with smuggling, illegalities, and making sure that we as a country add value to the gold is finally where we are hoping to do. And what we have said to key investors is that you must come to Ghana with a mindset to partner for a win-win, making sure you get a good return on your investment by living with the satisfaction that the communities where the gold came from, I've also seen some transformation. There's also the Mineral Development Fund, established to address concerns of development, infrastructure development of communities in the mining area. The MIF is also a program to make sure we can invest revenue and royalties so that good return on investment can be used to improve the lives of our people. Ladies and gentlemen, it is possible for us to mine sustainably and responsibly.
Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and click on the bell for more updates.